I was sitting in my psychiatrist's office, staring at the pictures on the wall, a boat, a beach, African figures. I could hear the ticking of the clock as I scanned the piles of books and patient records underneath, looking at anything but her face. I knew what she was going to say well before she opened her mouth. You're going to need a higher level of care. I can't say I was surprised, since things have been getting progressively worse. I had spent years struggling with depression, hiding pills, and planning my suicide. But still, I felt fear jump inside my belly, crawl up to my heart, and then reach up and grab me by the throat so I could barely breathe. Here we go again, I thought, the mental hospital, the psych ward, the loony bin. I flashed through my past hospital experiences, some helpful, some downright scary. I've been through everything: meds, behavioral and magnetic therapies, even electroconvulsive shock therapy. Yes, ECT. I thought of my 2 young daughters. How could I be away from my babies for weeks? But then I sighed and thought, how could I stay with them like this? Depressed, agitated, out of control. I needed to do whatever it would take to get better from them. Like my hero, the recently departed mental health champion, Carrie Fisher, I have bipolar disorder, which means 1 minute I'm having a dance party with my 6-year-old in the kitchen, and then the next I'm hiding under my blankets planning my funeral, literally. It's like a launching at times, all the way up into a galaxy far, far away, and then a sudden plummeting into the depths of a fiery volcano. Now, if only I could use the Force like Princess Leia to control my moods. Several hours later, in a shaky voice, I told my husband that my psychiatrist wanted me to be hospitalized again. I worried he would be mad, but he too was not surprised. He just was sad. He wanted his wife back. He wanted the mother he knew that I could be, not some shell of a person barely existing. As the tears poured down his face, I knew what I had to do. I thought of Carrie Fisher's quote, "Stay afraid, but do it anyway. What's important is the action. You don't have to be confident, just do it, and eventually the confidence will follow." When I arrived at the psychiatric hospital and the elevator doors opened, I stepped out, clutching my pink bag in one hand and pictures of my girls in the other, shaking and praying the staff wasn't waiting for me with restraints or a straitjacket. Thankfully, I was welcomed by a wall of hand-drawn inspirational quotes and a handful of smiles from staff and other patients. I started to breathe again. I realized that maybe it wouldn't be quite as bad as I thought it would be. I may not have gone in running, but I got there one step at a time. Stay afraid, I thought, but do it anyway. I did do it. I got the help. We adjusted medication. I did group therapy, individual therapy, art therapy, psychoeducation, process groups, DBT, CBT, battled my depression, anxiety, addiction, borderline personality disorder, PTSD, OCD, ADD, OMG, the whole alphabet soup of Crazy Town. I tried anything and everything I could try, even acupuncture, yoga, and meditation. I even went to church like every good Jewish girl should. I got off of the pills I was abusing, and when I got off of the plane after 40 achingly long days away, I felt the familiar feeling of fear jump inside my belly, crawl up to my heart, and then reach up and grab me by the throat so I could barely breathe again. The thoughts began to spin. What if I'm not fixed? What if I disappoint them? What if I still get depressed? I was suddenly knocked over. Not by thoughts this time, but by hugs, by real hugs, my family. And my negative thoughts disappeared for that moment. With one hand, I grabbed the chubby little dimpled hand of my 18-month-old, and with my other hand, I grabbed the blue Elsa frozen polished hand of my 6-year-old, and I wrapped those girls around me like a warm blanket. I was home again. The tears flowed as I held them for minutes that felt like hours beside the spinning baggage claim number 2 at Newark Airport. And there's nowhere in the world I'd rather have been in that moment than with my husband and my girls in that disgustingly smelly, pee-smelling baggage claim. I hope that by going for treatment, my daughters will not see weakness and feel embarrassed about their crazy mom, but instead I hope that they will see strength and come to realize that it is not something to be ashamed of. Mommy just went away for a little while to get some help, to be a healthier and happier person. And above all else, to be a better mom for them, so I can be there for them. The first thing I did when I got home, second only to a quick round of Ring Around the Rosie, was to get rid of the pills I had been stashing around my house as my suicide plan, because I had finally, amazingly, chosen life. I chose family. I chose recovery. And when I woke up this morning, I chose life again. And I bet I'll choose it again tomorrow. And while I may not know what tomorrow will bring, I'm learning with each day to keep the fear from reaching up and grabbing me by the throat so I can keep on breathing and keep on living life.